Yo, we are back. Let's get it.
Touchdown, Raiders!
Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. We are back. Welcome to the latest installment of the Graphk Wasted Show.
Or the Wasted and Graphk Show, whichever way you like to slice it. What's up, brother?
My brother, man, I'm over here dealing with this snow. We're pretty much snowed in right now.
Yeah.
Had to call it in again with the Shrine Bowl today. They canceled a couple of the events for the week because of the snow front coming in, man. So we're at the house, man. You know, we're just kicking it. About to do the movie thing tonight, man. What's good with you, bro?
Hey, man, same deal, bro. It's cold as hell out there. You know, it's really about to come down like 10,000 mother effers. and you know, I'm just to the point now, bro, where like, you know, I don't know how much longer I can deal with this weather, bro. I need to go somewhere tropical. I gotta do something different, bro. This is crazy, bro.
I tell you, man, my California ass can't deal with too much of this,
dog. You know my lungs and I can't, bro. Like real rap. When I go upstairs and I get in the bed with my woman, I'm about to pull my iPad out and book a vacation somewhere hot. Like I can't. I can't do this, bro.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you, man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, make sure you guys wipe them feet. Pay your bar tabs over at Wasted channel. Wherever you guys are, man, hopefully you guys are well. We know a little snow, front is hitting the east, hitting the south. You know what I mean? Hopefully that all you guys and your families are well taken care of, man. Make sure you guys also hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet on both channels, Wasted is getting closer and closer to that 20,000 goal, man. I'm almost to that 30K goal. Make sure you help us out right now. You already know, man. Salute to our brother Halo in the building as well. It's always good to see
definitely,
bro here cooking, man. We got 600 strong already, and this show has not even started yet, man. There's a lot to talk about, and I love it because, Mikey, we're going to start right here, man. Chargers fans are in shambles. You know, let me say this, okay? And I put this on Twitter, and I want your opinion on this, Wasted, because there's a lot going on right now in terms of Mike McDaniel, okay? He canceled an in-person interview in Florida where he resides with Buffalo, okay? So we know there's a lot going on right there with Brandon Beane and the owner. You know, there's a lot of messy stuff in public right now. The whole Kenon thing, you know, the way they let go of Sean McDermott. There's players out there that are upset right now, you know, with the way they handled those things. So, you know, Mike McDaniel said, I'm not going there. Again, he already accepted an offensive coordinator position with the Chargers. Again, he can still look for a head coaching position in the meantime before he signs the dotted line. So some news came out today, you know, in typical fashion, right? Diana Rossini is hit or miss over here. But an update, Mike McDaniel pulled out of his scheduled meeting down in Florida with the Bills yesterday, I'm told. And the two sides never met. McDaniel remains in contention for the Raiders head coaching job, but if he takes an OC position, it's still expected to be with the Chargers. She went on to also tweet out, it's still expected for him to sign with the Chargers as the OC. All right, so I put something out there because Charger fans were attacking me left and right because of the thumbnail. You know, we're kind of laughing a little bit because Mike McDaniel hasn't, you know, it's not the foregone conclusion yet that he's going to be down there in LA with Harbaugh and company. So I put something out there. I want your take on this. All I said was this: let's end this Mike McDaniel Raiders Chargers debate here. If the Raiders want him, he is our head coach. He will be, but it sounds like they're willing to wait until this weekend's games are complete to follow up with other candidates. Webb, Kubiak, LaFleur. It's highly unlikely he doesn't accept the OC job in LA, but if we want him, we can have him. Dear Charger fans, the end. I think this is pretty simple, right? I think he's kind of waiting because there was a report also that came out that he's still very much so interested in the head coaching position with the Raiders. And who wouldn't be, right? Brock Bowers, Genty, the #1 pick. I mean, look, he gets another chance, to kind of get over that blemish on his resume, so to speak, in Miami. What do you think about this whole situation, man?
I think it's wild that all 3 of the Chargers fans attacked you on Twitter, man, that they were all synchronized and they all followed you. So it was like that lady that was going like this in NFL Mike.
Yeah. I was getting called on the name, you know what I mean, and everything, bro. But there was a few guys that were actually really smart. Salute to those guys. They were like, hey, man, we get it. We understand what's going on here. Again, who wouldn't want to be another head coach coming off of that situation in Miami? You know, he's in a good situation regardless if he goes to LA.
Look, it's only 32 of these jobs, bro. Yeah. Like, so the expectation would be a guy that, just got, can and really done kind of dirty down in Miami. Mm-hmm. The expectation would be that he would take a head coaching job. Yeah. Especially if you don't have to take a step back and kind of dance to the tune of another coach when you've been kind of used to doing your own thing. Mm-hmm. You get paid more when you're a head coach. You get more autonomy. Like, it just like, bro, this is not even something to argue about. If we're being honest, like if you gave a guy that's a special team coach, like what are we talking about?
But there's a lot that goes into this. Again, we always have to use this, this example. But the no state tax is a thing. I believe he's from Aurora, Colorado, so it's not too far from Nevada. Okay, the Las Vegas nightlife. I know that he's been sober since 2016. Salute to him. But again, with his upbeat personality, kind of fits out there in Las Vegas. You're going to always be in Harbaugh's shadow out there in LA. Again, he probably would be one and done if they could find a way to get into the playoffs and potentially win a game. Maybe he'll be, afforded the luxury of having another head coaching position. But again, like you said, there's only 32 jobs, right? And you're never promised that again.
Yeah, you might not ever get a bite at the apple again. No. And the problem is, and this is where I see, and this is a Charger thing. This is not a Raider thing. How does Mike McDaniel align with Jim Harbaugh? Because Jim Harbaugh is a guy that is an old school guy. He played under Bo Schembechler.
Yep.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. Yeah. Fullback, pro style offense. Student body left, student body right. Fullback, blast, halfback. Counter like that's his offense, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you got a guy that's at the precipice of one of the most modern offenses in the league.
Yeah.
So how does that align? Like, was that a choice that was just made by Jim Harbaugh alone?
Yeah.
Like, who made this choice, right? Who's like, you don't really know the hierarchy with the Chargers, because the one thing about that ownership is they will insert themselves in places and spaces where they shouldn't be.
Yes.
They do that, right? Mm-hmm. Especially because, now they got a little money and stuff like that. So look, these are the things you got to ask yourself, right? My thing is this, right? When you're talking about drafting a young quarterback, you have to keep all the avenues of offensive play calling open. Yeah. So I understand why McDaniel is still in the running for the Raider job. He could still be in the running for the Buffalo job. Because look, these jobs are drying up. Steelers,
yeah.
He could be he definitely could be a guy that's there for Buffalo.
I like that you mentioned that, okay? Because speaking of Buffalo, we brought in a guy today for a head coaching interview for this game, right? A guy that is tied to Buffalo right now, and I think in the grand scheme of things, he ends up in Buffalo. He's Josh Allen's guy. There's reports coming out that Phillip Rivers is being very much so looked at as a serious candidate up there to take over the head coaching spot. Their former OC may have a shot at it, Joe Brady. But the Raiders brought in Brian Daboll today, to interview for the head coaching position. We all know what happened with the Giants. I believe they went to the playoffs one year, and the last couple of years they've kind of fell off a little bit. A lot of injuries out there. I don't think that he got enough time to actually really truly develop Jackson Dart. He only had one season out there. But this could also be a situation here where we're watching Sunday and seeing if Davis Webb, if Denver loses, potentially if he's the head coach and Brian Daboll is our OC, or you swap, right? I don't know. But again, there's a lot of, people trying to connect the dots here. But I think that this is potentially, yes, interview for the head coaching position. But I guarantee you, Brady and Spytek have said also, what do you think about the OC position? And if he doesn't get that head coaching position with Buffalo, there are reports of him potentially going to Tennessee, with Robert Salah. There's a lot going into this, but what do you think about this report of potentially having Brian Daboll come in and be the guy to develop Fernando Mendoza?
Well, look, this is a guy that, to me, I really want nothing to do with. A lot of people give him credit for Josh Allen's development, right? And he deserves an apt amount of that credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since then, this is a guy who ruined one quarterback, was well on his way to ruining another one.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize what he did at the end of his tenure with the Giants. And I went into this in depth in a pre-recorded video I did earlier today, guys. Going over there,
check it out. Forcing Jackson Dart out there and with the concussions and stuff.
Bro, like, listen, this guy at the end of his run was calling design run plays for a kid that has 4 head injuries since you coached him.
Out of desperation because he knew his job was on the line. But again,
and then you went into the medical tent and stuck your head in there to try to get him out there to come out back on the field, and he got fined $100,000, and the Giants got fined $200,000, and he was publicly shamed about this from John Mara. Like, this guy, I want nothing to look. And this is the problem with this guy. He went from being damn near the Prince of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They loved him.
Playoff, had Daniel Jones playing at a high clip.
And it's the thing, they were 9-7-1. It wasn't like, he set the world on fire. It was just a bad division that year. But ever since then, he hasn't been able to string together anything close to that. And this is a guy that comes from that Bill Belichick, Nick Saban tree. Right. So a lot of those guys are real prickly. They're very abrasive, and they don't do the best when it comes to players. And there's a few players, and there's an agent for one of the players I don't want to name that I have a connection with. And it was told to me that he's a coach that takes everything personal.
Yes.
And he rubbed a lot of those players in the Giant locker room the wrong way. He lost that place. To the point where Joe Schoen was listening on the headsets to see how he was communicating with the coaches. He was cussing those guys out. That's part and parcel of the reason why Wink Martindale left in the middle of the season last year.
And it looks like he may get the job with the Jets right now. They're flying him up right now for the DC position with Aaron Glenn, which is crazy. So
Wink, Wink is a well-respected coach.
Very well-respected.
Well-respected. Mm-hmm. The fact that he quit shows you what you're dealing with. So what you're dealing with is Josh McDaniels that probably weighs about 40 pounds more. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. This guy, has been, really, really, really bleeding since he made his debut in 1964 in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I remember this.
Graphk, I want you to show Brian Daboll's cinematic debut.
What you mean? I'm lost in the song. It's on there.
It's right there. You listen. There he is. There he is. His cinematic debut in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Brian Daboll, everybody. Salute.
Yo, he is stupid, bro. He is stupid. Yo, what do you think? I mean, again, right? I mean, they're just doing their due diligence here. We've pretty much had everybody else in for an interview, whether it was through Zoom or if we flew out to them in Miami. A lot of guys have flown into Henderson. There's also this, a lot of people are trying to connect the dots here with this flight that left Fort Lauderdale. Did you see this on Twitter?
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah.
There's a flight that left Fort Lauderdale private, and it's flying into Henderson today. Okay, so this is apparently Mike McDaniel, you guys, because a lot of people are saying that he still lives in the area, right? This is how bad people out here are right now trying to connect the dots in terms of the head coach. Look, I don't think that they were ever going to jump out the window and name their head coach until after the AFC Championship and then NFC Championship. There's too many guys available still, the Webbs of the world, the LaFleurs, the Kubiaks of the world. These guys are still out there. We interviewed Chris Shula. I know that he's lost a lot of steam, because Pittsburgh brought in Mike McCarthy today. There's not really that many options right now. Alex, I'm hearing that Arizona is really high on Mike LaFleur. He's one of the names to keep an eye on with Arizona outside of Vance Joseph and a few others. And
a little inside information, they're pretty high on Raheem
Morris as well. Yes.
Raheem, they're really high on Raheem.
They seem like they want to go in a defensive, a defensive route.
They want to. I think don't be surprised if Raheem Morris winds up with that job.
Wouldn't be shocked. It's not one of the most glorious jobs available. It's kind of right neck and neck, 1A, 1B with Cleveland. Did you see what Cleveland is doing? They're doing personality tests. They're doing exams. They have coaches writing essays to tell them why they should be the head coach.
Yeah, well, that's why Jimmy Haslam is one of the worst owners in professional sports. Listen, man, Andrew Berry and them guys out there, he is not going to be long for that job if he doesn't get this shit right.
Yeah.
So, I listen, they've hired a lot of people. When you're in a perpetual state of just failure and you have some of the same players that are involved, you got to try something different, right? Definitely. Like even with the Raiders, that's why I'm not mad that the Raiders are taking their time. I'm not mad that they're waiting to get more in-person time with these guys. It's a good thing, because if you look at the people across the league that have gotten the jobs that they've gotten, right? The only person that is off the board that the Raiders were in on was Mentor.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys that were in their top 3-4 guys, they're all available still.
They're still available right now. Outside of Mike McDaniel, which we don't know how high
he's available. If they hire him right now, they got him. Yeah. So it's not like,
he's turned down Buffalo. So again, Raiders head coaching position is the only one pretty much available for Mike McDaniel at this point. It's either head coach with the Raiders or OC with the Chargers. Regardless, it looks like he's going to land in the AFC West. So, but look, again, Brian Daboll came in today for an interview. Take that as you may, you guys. Alex, look, bro, I like both. Again, Kubiak, we know both those last names, right? Like they're very popular names around NFL circles, okay? Clint Kubiak has done some great things with that Seattle offense. LaFleur got a chance to work under McVay. We know what happened with the Jets under Robert Saleh when he was calling the O. Again, man, I think that they both can be great in the right situation. And this goes, in terms of most coaches.
No, I don't. I'm going to be real.
I think Kubiak would be the better option.
Kubiak is the guy. LaFleur is a paper champion, right? This is a guy that there's no reason why he would ever get a head coaching gig. What has he done?
DeMokes, you got to relax. You got to relax, DeMokes. You got to relax, DeMokes. You about to get unceremoniously blizzard here.
Yeah, DeMokes. Yeah, you definitely got to chill with that, man. You the fuck wrong with you, bro? Like that's not even funny, bro. I don't even know what you was reaching for with that, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, bro. Like you got to chill, DeMokes. Real rap, bro. Like we joke around, but bro, you got to chill, DeMokes. Yeah,
but real quick, hold on. Salute the
but look, but when you start talking about LaFleur really quickly, let me land the plane here. LaFleur is a guy that is getting credit for Sean McVay's greatness. He's not calling any of the plays in Los Angeles. And when he had a chance to develop a young quarterback, I watched him with the Jets. He did a terrible job with Zach Wilson. He failed Zach Wilson.
Yep.
He should still and it's not like they didn't have any talent.
Wilson failed everywhere else though too. Wait, so you got to throw that out there.
No, but he hasn't had the chance,
bro. When you beat out Quentin Ewers, bro, you can't beat those and beat up a Tua. You can't.
But it's not like, bro. You know how the league is, bro. They didn't bring him in there to beat Tua out. Follow the contract. They brought Tua.
Bro, he was the number 2 guy, and then they had Quentin Ewers jump him to be the starter.
But Quinn Ewers, he started out on the depth chart because he has experience. They drafted Quinn Ewers to be the guy to challenge Tua. Follow the contract. Tua makes all of that money, bro. There was never any real chance for him to win that job, bro. You know how this shit is.
So why if Tua lost? Nah, I gotta disagree with you on
that. Like, bro, there was never a real chance. Like, they're not gonna sit Tua Tagovailoa when they just gave him an extension. But they're not going to sit him on a bench for no fucking Zach Wilson, bro.
Are you still believe in Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I think he needs to go to the right situation. It's the same shit I was saying about Baker. It's the same thing I was saying about Sam Darnold. There's more bad coaching than there is bad quarterback playing the National Football League. Like, this guy is not a bad quarterback.
Send him to Arizona. Send him to Arizona.
The thing is that the Jets and definitely LaFleur, he failed him, bro. And when you look at what happened there, you're like Breece Hall. Like all of them guys, they had talent there with the Jets. Was a lot. They failed that kid.
Definitely.
Like I don't want to, like Elijah Vera Tucker, all those guys were there. They failed those kids.
Salute the reap, man. Best for Mendoza, Kubiak, LaFleur, Kingsbury, in my opinion. Well, one of these guys may bring in Kingsbury to be the OC. Where I'm still hearing
that would be Davis Webb. because that was his coach at Texas Tech before he went to Cal.
Yes. So there's a connection there. So we can see Davis Webb, being the head coach, bringing in Cliff Kingsbury, a Tom Brady guy as well. And that would make a ton of sense. Salute to Reap, though. I definitely agree with you, brother. The good thing is all the options that are being directed to the Raiders right now are offensive names that I think that most of Raider Nation has talked about, up to this point, that we really, really, truly need to go offense at this point, even though Chris Shula was really high on my list. And again, Flores at one point was in discussions, not with the Raiders, but in Raider Nation with us talking about him, who potentially ended up landing back with Minnesota. It's official now.
Yeah, he's persona non grata, bro. He look, when you sue the owners in the National Football League, he's suing separate teams, right?
Yeah,
based off of their practices. They have a group think mentality. Like people think when people sue the league that they're suing Roger Goodell. They're suing the owners. Yeah. So it's not like they got it. Like if he gets damages or something like that, every single owner's got to pay that out.
Definitely.
So like, and I know he's suing specific teams, but if he wins one of them lawsuits, what's going to wind up happening is the way the hiring processes and the way that they do things in the National Football League are going to come to play. That's the reason why the National Football League is very staunchly against any kind of litigation. That's the reason why John Gruden is persona non grata.
That's why they're just trying to give him whatever he wants and just go away.
Yeah, they're like, yo, go away. But he's never going to get a head coaching job.
No. Salute to Silver. Head coach, Kubiak, quarterback, 1 year, Aaron Rodgers. I don't see that happening. I think that he may go back to the Steelers. Mike McCarthy's there. They won a Super Bowl together. Makes all the sense in the world for him to return to Pittsburgh. QB, Fernando Mendoza, gives our young quarterback time to learn from one of the greats and get used to the NFL. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers would fit in Las Vegas. Silver, to be honest with you, I don't think that Brady would go that route. There's been a few years, right, with Devontae in the building, and we're thinking, okay, Aaron may come over for a year, so on and so forth. I don't see it. If he does return, I believe that Pittsburgh will be the spot. If not wasted, there's one more team that he could finish the trifecta with Brett Favre, and that's the Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell out there. JJ struggled. They could bring in Aaron for a year potentially and then go draft one. So, but I hear you, though, my boy Silver. Salute to you. Salute to Ray Glide as well on a 5-hour Smackaroonie. We're going to get these supers in, you guys. We got a lot more to talk about. What up, Graphk and Wasted? Mark my words. Mendoza will be the face of the league in a few years. He has the aura about him and was born to be a Raider, man. In the perfect world, brother, you are right.
Let's draft him first.
Yep, let's get him first, right? Let's get him in the building first, secure the bag, and then I do believe he'll be the number one selling jersey off the rip. And the NFL is going to fall in love with him. He's going to be a poster boy. They're going to have him all over the place. You know what I mean? So, but hopefully the talent, equals, all the loudness and all the talk,
all the hype, all of the all the accolades. And he's definitely marketable. He's definitely a good person.
Yes, for sure.
Right? Like from surface, we don't know him personally, but he seems like a pretty good dude.
He comes off as the perfect prospect to have in Vegas where you wouldn't have to worry about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, the one thing he loves is playbook, X's and O's. He loves the game of football. And who better to be around Tom Brady, his idol, to really, truly bring that all out of him, man. Salute to Night Lord. Yes, we have seen that. And again, what's so crazy, man? I respect Coach JB. I like, again, I'm not here to act as though he's this legend because he's not. He's a JUCO coach, okay? I love the Netflix series just like everybody else did. But he is a spin master, hot take master. That's exactly what he does. He has learned from the best. Watching Stephen A., watching all these other guys just being loud and obnoxious. Look, could he be right? He could be right. Night Lord, we don't know until we see him get out there and take some snaps. But when you lead with that before you even see him go on a football field, it's kind of crazy. Now, I know that JB is a very football sound guy, the way he breaks down the game. I love listening to him break down X's and O's. But again, there's a reason why he never found a job elsewhere. There's a reason why he's never even been at the collegiate level, I believe, never been in the NFL, having again, this guy is just loud, very, he's from Compton, he's going to be out there screaming. But again, sometimes it's for clicks, bro. It's for clicks. And he doesn't have anybody around him to tell him like, yo, bro, chill out. Like his co-host just seems like he's happy to be there. Like real talk, bro. He seems like I'm just happy I got the job. You know what I mean? So again, no one's gonna hold him accountable.
I mean, what's really holding him accountable? You know what I'm saying? Like when you got a situation where, you know, guys are trying to make money, they're trying to, you know, talk ball, and they're trying to make their program and a platform bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like what does that even look like? What is accountability measures? What does accountability measures look like when you're trying to make your platform relevant? Right. Listen, look, I like Coach JB.
You know ball, right? You know ball already. You're entertaining, but you don't have to do this type of shit. All you got to do is say, I don't think that Fernando Mendoza is going to translate.
But that's his stick, though, right?
It is, but again, that's why I hate Jason Whitlock. Like I hate anyone that has a stick. Like pause. But like why? Like why? Like why can't you just pull up and talk ball and not have to have this thing that you have to die, this hill you have to die on? I don't know why everybody has to have this thing. Like why?
Well, that's the new way of things. Look, I like Coach JB, right? You know, like I don't necessarily like the way that he's been going about his business lately when it comes to quarterbacks, because I haven't really heard him say anything positive about any quarterback in the recent past, right? But at the end of the day, bro, you know, his assessment of Fernando Mendoza is very short-sighted because it's like, bro,
his stick is going against the grain, bro. That's it.
Yeah. Well, he goes against the grain. What does he do? That mother man, look, bro.
The worst Heisman Trophy winner ever.
I mean, what did he do?
Oh, hold on. So he turned into Thor?
That motherfucker can't throw the ball. He can't play his way out of a wet paper bag. That motherfucker can't play worth a shit. I ain't seen the worst fucking quarterback play I've seen in my life.
Hey,
I mean, the motherfucker look like he got a Jerry curl.
Yo,
man, Caleb Williams painting his fingernails.
I heard a lot of Thor right there originally, bro. Real quick, man. Salute to Dab. Looking more and more like Kubiak as the head coach. Webb is the OC, and I wouldn't hate Rob Leonard promoted to DC.
I would.
Logical progression. Lateral moves never happen. Salute to our guy, Nab, man, in the building. Salute to Road Raider as well. Kubiak, Webb, McDaniels, let's effing go. Love listening to you guys. We love to have you here, my brother. We appreciate you on the 5-hour Smackaroonie. And again, those three names are definitely names to keep an eye on. Also, while we're at it, Rose, salute to you. There was another name that so-called dropped out today. Clay Kubiak, the OC for the Niners. He removed his name for consideration from head coaching jobs. Now, this had nothing to do with money, you guys. This had nothing to do with Shanahan. They can try to sell this to you as much as they want. He wasn't going to get a head coaching job. So
your interest, like nobody was interviewing you. Nobody cares, man. Like, bro, like, yo, that's like fucking, you know, oh my God, that a backup quarterback announcing to the Player Tribune that he's retiring.
Yeah, bro, the same shit.
It's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. This is my language, y'all. It's a family show. Family show.
Salute to Charlie in the building as well. Maybe it's Cope. I think Jim and Mike would work. Jim wants innovation with his offense. Jim wouldn't help Mike be a better head coach. They both believe in the run game, but Mike should try for a head coaching job if he can. Well, look, for our sake, Charlie, we hope that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? As Raider fans, right? But again, look, I think we all kind of, when we seen that, it was just like, oh my God, here we go. Because the first thing we thought as Raider fans was Herbert has no more excuses. None whatsoever.
That's the LeBron James of the NBA, the NFL. Him and Josh Allen, bro. I've never seen quarterbacks that have had more excuses made for him. And you get people who dog out like Jalen Hurts, right? Yeah. And it's like, bro, you can say what you want, but when the money's on the table, he shows the hell up. Yeah. He's won, right? Like these guys, man, like especially in it, this is the worst year of professional football as far as from you know, a team perspective that I can remember. Like the only other year I can remember, I think it might have been like in the early 90s. It was a year where like Marino and Elway, like everybody was getting hurt, and they kind of changed the rules with quarterbacks. You remember that year?
Yep, I do. I was there for
the backups playing.
It was the early 90s.
The early 90s. I don't think it was 90. Was it 95? Because that was the year the Niners won.
It was before that.
It was like 90.
95 was the Niners Chargers Super Bowl, I believe.
It was a year. It was a year where I think one of the years like where like the Cowboys won or something like that. Yeah. But that year it was a lot of people.
One of those years Buffalo lost.
yeah. I remember like Gus Frerotte was a starting quarterback. Like it was crazy, bro.
Well, I gotta say this though. Maybe Clay also kind of took a step back because maybe he knows something with his brother. Maybe he knows something with Clint Kubiak. Maybe Kubiak is saying, hey, you know, they offered me the job. I'm waiting until, you know, after this Sunday where we can interview him regardless of what happens, you guys. We can interview him in person because of the bye going into the Super Bowl. So we can bring him in regardless. Maybe Clay knows something that we don't, and rightfully so, right? It's his brother. Maybe there's something there where he's like, you know what? I'm just going to let him know I'm taking a step back because I already know what the hell's about to happen here. Because again, it sounds like the Raiders are really, really high on Clint Kubiak, and they're looking at Mike McDaniel potentially as a backup plan if he chooses to go back to Seattle to run it back, or if he chooses Buffalo potentially.
Yeah, because that is a real phenomenon. Like people don't understand that like 60% of being a new head coach is locating a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And when you go to Buffalo, quarterback located in a real way, especially if you see what he's done with Sam Darnold. What the hell you think he's gonna do with Josh Allen?
Yeah, facts. Alex, a genuine question. When the head coach is the play caller, what does the OC do? I don't understand people saying bringing in Kubiak and Daboll or McDaniels. That was never going to happen anyway.
That was never going to happen, bro. These guys are not going to like what you do with a guy like Daboll. He has to have a function. He has to have that side of the football. This is a guy who went from being the Lord, ruler, and master of the number one media market team, the Giants. He's not going to go to being a clipboard and like a quality control manager, essentially, right? And that's the reason why when we start talking about LaFleur, that's essentially what he is. Sean McVay, that genius that comes from that Rams offense is Sean McVay's.
It's all him. Yep, it's all him.
All him. Like pretty much, you'd be pretty much Ole with Gruden.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Ole. No disrespect to Ole, man. He's our guy. But I'm just saying.
Got love for Ole.
But Ole, bro, Ole with Gruden is not doing much play calling.
No, not at all. Marco, this is the thing, bro. There's nothing to really, I don't think there's any hand to force. You know, he's just letting it be known through the media, through other people that he's still interested in the head coaching position. Like if he just signed on the dotted line with the Chargers, then he's saying, I want to be an OC. It's okay. He just kicking back and saying, hey, there's no rush here. You know, like I want to see what the Raiders do. I guarantee you, Tom and Spytek said we have a plan. We just want to see, you know, we want to interact with some of these guys after these championship games and see where they are, you know, go through the process. Look, he already has a job waiting for him. I mean, honestly, what other OC right there that's available right now can the Chargers even look at this point? Honestly, like, would they look at Davis Webb? I mean, would they bring him in? I don't know. Could be, right. Mike LaFleur is not making that kind of move. The Rams aren't going to let him go just to go, you know, take the same position.
No, he's not taking a lateral move. They're not going to.
So there's nothing in terms. McDaniel's just kicking back and saying, I would like to be a head coach. I'm committed to the Chargers only if the Raiders go in another direction. I don't think he's trying to force anyone's hand. I've seen a lot of people talking about leverage. There's no leverage here, you guys. There's already a contract available to him. I see some people saying more money. It's not money. I see some people stating, well, maybe he wants more to do with his staff. It has nothing to do with that. We all know that it's Harbaugh's team, and he will give McDaniel everything that he needs to do to succeed on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, already they got a Marion Hampton. You know, they got McConkey. They got Herbert. They're getting Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt back, right? Healthy. You know what I mean? So, look, there's nothing to really rush here. Like let him. He's probably sitting back saying, "Hey, Harbaugh, you know, I trust and believe that I'll be here, but I want to be a head coach. Who wouldn't want to be a head coach? And there's only one job really available. And I think that with Buffalo, he already knew the writing was on the wall with potentially a Daboll or a Joe Brady. And also, I don't think he wants to get in the middle of any of that shit. I don't think that, you know, what does he have in common with the Buffalo Bills? He's coming over from that division. So He probably knows a ton that's going on out there with Bean and the owner. It's a messy breakup out there with McDermott and all the other stuff with the Keon situation. He's probably just saying thank you, but no thank you. Vegas is the job that I want, because I think maybe Spytek and tell me how you feel about this. I think Spytek and Brady said, we know this isn't going to be a one-year thing. This is going to be a few years. It's going to be, a few years to really get this thing rolling, but it starts with the number one pick, which is Fernando Mendoza. And again, I think that he's looking at the grand scheme of things, the Michael Mayers, the Brock Bowers, the Ashton Genties, and all this talent that we have on the offensive side of the football. And he said, hey, man, this might be a good chance to go, clean up my reputation, so to speak, after what happened to Miami.
I don't think he needs to clean his reputation up. I think that his reputation has been what it is based off of the way he carries himself. He's not a guy. He takes the road less traveled, like the way he goes about his, right. Like for me, I love him as a play caller. I am not sold out on him as a head coach, because for me, look, I'm old school. There are a lot of people that will disagree with me, but I think that with a coach like him, the inmates would run the asylum in a sense. Right? He doesn't have that authoritative kind of, and because I can say this based off of what we've seen, right? He doesn't have that demeanor, right? Like even with Ben Johnson, people thought Ben Johnson had a personality to be a leader of men, right? People try to criticize him, and you can see Ben Johnson is a dog. Yeah, he's a dog. He's highly competitive. And the thing about players want knowledgeable coaches. They want coaches that are going to hold them accountable. They want coaches that are going to make them better. So there's a knowledge base there that you need to be a head coach. And McDaniels checks the box. But from a personality standpoint, I think a lot of the culture part of, what was going right with Miami was Vic Fangio. Yeah.
I want to do something real quick. This Jets guy, and I'll read this super getter, don't play in a minute. This is what he had to say. Can you get rid of that window? Waste it if you can, brother.
How do I get rid of it?
Because he said he is broke compared to the other owners. I kind of laugh at this shit when people say they know ball. Like they know ball, right? Like ball. Bro. Like, look, you're always here, right? You're not a fan of the Raiders, but you're here, right? And you're ball, okay?
Wait, so
ball.
What's he
As
talking
of
about?
2025, Jets gang. The Raiders are the 9th most in NFL, in the NFL right now. We're the 9th. We were literally at like below 30 at one point in Oakland. Mark Davis got this team's net worth up. We were at 9. We're $7.7 billion.
Yeah, the Raiders are worth $7.7 billion, but he's not wrong.
What do you mean?
He's not wrong, because when you talk about owners, right? Like you're talking about the Walton family, the people who own the Walmart.
Wait a second, we're talking about net worth, cash in hand. Yeah.
So
when he moved some of his percentages and got Brady and got these guys.
He's talking about commiserate to the other owners, right? So the richest owner in the NFL is the Denver Broncos owner. The second ones are, the Hunt family. The third is David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Fourth is Jody Allen, Paul Allen's daughter. Paul Allen's who started Microsoft.
Okay, but wait.
Fifth is, let me finish.
No, because I know what you're doing, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. We're not.
No, I am. You're wrong.
We're not talking about liquid cash. We're talking about what he can do. He said we don't have enough money to pay Mike McDaniel.
No, he's a moron. He's stupid.
That's
what I'm saying is he has more than enough money to pay Mike McDaniel. But when you say who the richest owners are, Mark Davis is not in that realm with those guys. Those guys, they own football teams like I own sneakers.
I understand that, but he's saying that we don't have enough money to bring in Mike McDaniel.
Well, he doesn't have enough knowledge to speak on this. He's a fucking moron. Yeah. Listen, bro, you follow the New York Jets, right? And we understand Woody Johnson is the heir to Johnson & Johnson. He has a lot of money, but he's a moron, and he's ruined the Jets. And the Jets have really done the Lord's work when he was in Donald Trump's staff, when he was like, I think he was like an ambassador to Ireland or some shit a couple of years ago, and he was away from the team, and that's when they start rebuilding the team, and he came back and fucked it up. So
I'll tell you one thing, Jets gang, Mark had enough money to pay Gruden, McDaniels, AP
Yeah.
and P at
So,
the same
but
damn
what
time.
he's saying is, and this is what I thought he was saying. He says he's broke compared to other owners. But look, if I'm worth $2 or $3 billion, I'd love to be that kind of broke. I love to be that kind of broke compared to the other owners. And that was the point that I was making, right?
That, though. He said, I don't think you guys are getting Mike McDaniel. And then he went on to say that your owner doesn't have enough money.
Yo, he's cleaning it up, bro, because he's wrong. He's cleaning it up because he's wrong, bro.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
That's all it is. He's cleaning it up. But when you start talking about these owners, these dudes are heavy.
You know that way. You know, I know that too, brother. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he said specifically.
Yeah,
we know that Mark ain't got the like you said, the Johnson & Johnson bread, the Walmart bread. We understand it. He owns the Aces. He owns the Raiders. We get it, right? But we're talking about
y'all got one of the brokest owners, but this the thing. He has enough money to afford a penny any coach. And the thing is, you got one of the brokest organizations. Like you got an organization who has not sniffed a Super Bowl since before Dr. King was assassinated.
This guy just paid fucking Pete Carroll.
Like, bro, you guys were in the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 3. No, 2. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get all in.
When they talk
and listen, you're not going back to a Super Bowl anytime soon.
No.
Go fuck yourself.
We got to go back and talk about the AFL when it comes to the Jets.
I mean, we got to talk about Joe Willie Namath. We got to talk about this man being on the sideline in like the Polo Grounds. That's not even there anymore. Disgusting. Or Shea Stadium or something, which isn't there anymore either. Like, get the fuck out of here. You are a bum.
Salute to Gator. Don't play that. Great work, Kings. Graphk, I have family from Sac with the last name of Graves. I know them. Well, I know a bunch of Graves out there. Webb or Kubiak would be cool with me. Remember, Madden was also young as well. I know several Graves. Actually, my boy, I know a Graves that used to cut my hair in Sacramento that was originally from Frisco, from the Jets out there. So salute to Gator. Don't play that. Salute to Night Lord. We got to get that Costco money. Salute to my guy, Night Lord, as well. Salute to the chat, man. As always, wipe them feet, hit them thumbs. We got almost 2,000 people here in the building. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. And make sure you pay your bar tabs over at Waster's channel and wipe them feet over at mine. As always, we appreciate every single one of you guys. We're just going over some stuff that's going on today in the NFL, you guys. Mike McCarthy signs with Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh guy. Those fans are going ape shit. Wasted on Twitter and Instagram. They're so pissed that it's so funny to see them all screaming to get rid of Mike Tomlin. And now they have Mike McCarthy, and they are absolutely pissed off. But you know what? I think that that's a good hire for them. I do.
Well, Mike McCarthy kind of got the Cowboys going in the right direction.
Yes, he did. He had that offense rolling. He's always been a great offensive-minded guy. He always has been. I think that he's going to get that side of the football. What has been an issue with Pittsburgh for a long time is not being able to get that O going, right? Finding the quarterback, and really they've been kind of always bringing in these aging guys. They have not been able to. When's the last time they developed a quarterback? Is it Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
It wasn't Kenny Pickett. It wasn't any of these other guys.
Yeah, man.
Brought in. So
Wilson, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. Look. Also, real quick, wasted Arthur Smith, a guy that his name was brought up a ton during this cycle for some OC jobs. He just went to Ohio State. Is the next offensive coordinator. So he's doing the Chip Kelly thing. So salute to Arthur Smith as well. This comes from Ian Rappaport. Arthur Smith now inherits an offense led by Heisman Trophy finalist Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, and adds to OSU's stacked staff under Ryan Day. So also the Titans are interviewing Texan defensive backs coach Dino Vasso for their vacant defensive coordinator job. Source said mentors Matt Burke, Jim Shorts have been pushing Vasso behind the scenes. Now he gets an actual shot.
But you know, listen, man, I love that. I love that, man. I love, you know, going out there and, you know, hiring people who are out there actually putting the work in and giving real results, not just a name that everybody's talking about. Because if you look at that defensive backfield with the Texans, man, that's a guy that deserves the job. He developed all those guys, and those guys are playing very, very well. The safeties, you know, I mean, I know you got
Petrie is a stud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They developed him out of nowhere, and that's a guy that to me, you can hang your hat on that. Now, when you start talking about Stingley, you knew he was going to be what he was. We knew that. You know what I mean? Like coming out of college, you knew, like the way people were trying to like downplay his greatness coming out of college in that draft. It was kind of funny to me. I was like, shit, please send him to the Raiders. We'll take him, you know? But
again, you guys, some more updates We talked about it already in the show. It looks as though Clay Kubiak has removed his name from consideration for head coaching jobs moving forward. He goes back to Shanahan with the Niners. They're going to run it back out there in Santa Clara. Also, we talked about Mike McDaniels. He nixed an interview with the Bills, but remains in the mix for the Raiders. Something to monitor moving forward, you guys. Once tomorrow's games are up, we'll kind of get a clearer picture of where Mike McDaniel kind of, fits in the grand scheme of things of what we are doing. But again, it looks like Tom and Spy are being very patient and trying to see where Davis Webb's head is after this game, Clint Kubiak, and potentially Mike LaFleur as well, even though I think that he's at the bottom of their wish list. But again, you just never really
Mike LaFleur is not on that wish list, bro. Like, everybody knows that, it's a cool name. It's a good person to pick his brain. It's a good guy to look at and be like, hey man, maybe there's something there. But when you really look at it, man, there's not a whole lot to hang your hat on with this guy. This guy, when he's had the clipboard, when he's had play calling duties with a defensive,
one of the worst offenses in football.
It was one of the worst offenses in football. Mm-hmm. And I would be sickened to my stomach if they hired this guy as a head coach.
And also the one knock on Kubiak is can he be, that guy that can command a locker room? I look at Mike LaFleur in the same breath, low key. Like, he's so chill. I don't really see a lot of like, that's what people want to stay away from Clint Kubiak for. They think that he can't be a guy that can demand respect within locker rooms.
To me, that's stupid. Like, what coordinator do you see in the National Football League that you can categorically say is a rah-rah guy and he's a leader of men? Yeah. Name him. Yeah. Listen, have you guys
we can say there's been a few, and one got a head coaching job with this guy's Jets, which is Aaron Glenn.
Look, man, at the end of the day, Aaron Glenn is a different case. He's a guy who was a hell of a football player. He's a borderline Hall of Fame football player, right? So you kind of know what kind of guy he is, right? Mm-hmm. But the 48 laws of power, never outshine the master. When Ben Johnson was with the Detroit Lions, this is the same rhetoric that we heard with Ben Johnson. We don't know how he's going to be when he becomes a head coach, because Dan Campbell is such a domineering figure. And goddamn it, he's every bit of Dan Campbell with the knowledge.
Yeah. But we didn't see a lot of that with him as an OC.
And that is what I'm saying. You never outshine the master. You're the offensive coordinator. You ain't the head coach. You're not the one getting asked the kind of questions that would allow for your personality to show, in a sense.
Yeah, agreed. Salute to Fupa, the goats of that Raider content. Glad to catch a show, man. Salute to my guy here in the building, man. Liam Cohen, right? There's a few other names.
Yeah, people were dogging him out. Duval and all that stuff.
I was one of them. That shit was kind of weird to me, bro. And then I even see a few things that Ben Johnson said where I'm like, ooh, we might have dodged a bullet. We didn't.
Yeah, Raider War Report. You got to chill, Raider War Report. You saw it in Ben Johnson. You got to relax. Yo, that's my Jersey brethren. Listen, you got to chill. That's my Jersey brethren. That's my North Jersey Essex County. Like, you got to chill, Raider War Report. You my dog. You got to stop it. Got to stop.
Damien, I would love this, man. Again, a guy that had a few top 5, top 10 offensive lines, even with the Giants, with not that greater personnel. I think we had 2 top 10 offensive lines with him, in the building in Vegas as well. And people say, oh, well, he's never did. But bro, name a time where he actually had a really, really great O-line. And in terms of talent, this guy knows how to get the best out of what O-lines that he has.
He to me is he's on a very short list. Him and the offensive line coach that left the Atlanta Falcons also.
Yes.
Those guys are excellent.
Even though they had a ton of talent up there in Atlanta, though.
He got his pick of the litter. Yeah. They can go out there and really, really craft a great staff.
Yeah.
With Carmen Basillo, he's a guy that he's been in a Raider building. I would hope they would consider bringing that guy in. Yeah. But the thing is, I just want whatever coach we bring in to hire his guys, not to make this hodgepodge of a coaching staff where guys don't know each other, get along with each other.
Well, again, if they end up going, which I don't believe they will,
Daboll.
If they do go Daboll, or Daboll, right? The Patriot way, the connection there with Carmen Basillo definitely makes sense. And I want to put this out there, you guys. So for the 3rd time in 4 seasons for Basillo, he coached a top 10 offensive line unit. which he did in 2022 and 2023 with the Raiders, finishing 10th each season. The Giants' offensive line allowed 17 total sacks in 17 games last year. They allowed 32 total sacks. They also allowed 161 total pressures in 2025. But think about that. In 2022, 2023, 2 top 10 units for the Raiders. And there wasn't a lot of big name guys, on those O-lines. So again, this guy has worked some wonders. He's worked some wonders. So I would love to take a look at it. But again, Waster, you are right, sir. We definitely got to bring in our head coach first before we make a decision on who the O-line coach is. This is what got us in trouble.
Hey, don't you guys already have offensive line coach? I mean, come on. Nobody ever said that I wasn't still here working my magic.
I feel like, is that the Undertaker voice?
Offensive line with some offensive line on the side.
Yo, you stupid, bro. Yo. Oh my God. Prom, I don't get it, but you know what? We love having them in the building just so everybody in the comment section can fry them. You know what I mean? So it is.
Listen, I love when other fans come in here and talking shit. Look, this is a place where we talk ball. Yeah. If he believes what he believes, it's cool, man. He can stay where he at.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
like, that's cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody said the other day when I was down the dial, right, that we have a cult-like following, and that if you disagree with us, you get blocked. And I'm here to say, listen. Look, no, I saw it in the chat, right? People like, oh, you got wasted talent. F that guy, him and Graphk, right? Listen, guys, let me tell you something. We don't mind if you disagree. No, we will have a football debate, right?
Sometimes we prefer that, so we can actually have some talk, some banter.
Yeah, the thing is you got to be respectful. So when you get unceremoniously blocked, right, or get sent to the gulags, or if Graphk goes boop 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 out of here, it's because you were being a fucking douchebag.
Yes.
Like, and it goes outside of the pale of football because, we can't run a conductive show that's conducive to talking ball when you have somebody in the chat that's being personal and being a jerk off. So listen, let me tell you something. F up out of here. Listen, David Zahn is here. Every time this guy pulls up to a show, debauchery happens. He has ever been blocked because it's okay. Because he's a good dude.
Salute to our brother Zahn. He probably has about 68 and a half beers in him right now. Salute to our guy Zahn here in the building. Get a few questions in as well, you guys. We still got 2,000 people in the building. Let me ask you real quick, man. Quick preview. Tomorrow, New England in Denver, Stiddy, against MVP candidate.
Show your Stiddies.
But what are we looking like tomorrow, man? Who do you think is going to be available immediately for the Raiders to hire tomorrow? Is it going to be Davis Webb? Is it going to be the Rams against the Seattle? Who's going to be available tomorrow? Is it going to be the McVay's guys? Is it going to be Mike McDaniel's guys? What are we looking like?
I think the sea bags are going to the bowl.
I agree.
I think the sea bags are going to the bowl. With the New England game, it's rough because look, better quarterback, right? But Stidham is a dog.
Yes.
Stidham's a dog, man. And he's one of them guys, man, that will win you 3 games. Like, he's been in this league a long time. He puts his body on the line. And I to me, he is probably the equal of Bo Nix right now. Everybody loves Bo Nix, but a lot of that shit is, Sean Payton, and a lot of it's that defense. Yeah. And the thing is how they're going to get after a young quarterback and Drake May playing in Mile High in the cold, and I know but Mile High is a tough place to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tough place to play.
Definitely. I think it's going to be a
I hate the Broncos, but I can see them winning this football game.
Either way, even if they do win, they're not going to win the championship, regardless.
Yeah, they're going to get wrecked in the championship, but I think they can
be NFC. This is going to be an NFC champion this year. It's either the Rams or the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm praying at the Rams. I hate, and it's the thing with the LA fans, right? The Rams have been in Los Angeles, even before they left. They were one of the original NFL teams, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were in the 30s, the Los Angeles Rams are the NFL champions. Back in the day, the Galloping Ghost, Red Grange, and shit like that. Back in the day, right? the Rams have always been in Los Angeles, and they have never had the imagination of LA ever. So now all of a sudden they're like kind of winning. I find that shit funny now, bro.
Yeah, I just don't want Devontae to get one. I really
don't want him either. I want somebody to crack his sternum.
Yeah, man.
Out of here.
I'm a McVay fan. I love Stafford. I love Jared Verse and those guys. You know what I mean? But again, I need Seattle to go out there and handle business, bro. Handle business. You know what I mean? Salute the 401. I'm hoping for a sinkhole to open up at Mile High and swallow both teams. Then Bills, Texans have to play for the AFC. That's one of them ones. I can see that. You know what? Very Bane-like, right? Just very Batman returnish or whatever the hell that was at the time. Yeah, very, very Bane-ish. I can see that.
God, you imagine that, bro?
That would be hilarious. Well,
would it be hilarious? That would kind of goddamn frightening, Graphk.
I'm like a dark night right now.
Like, bro, that'd be frightening.
I know what you're doing right now too, and you ain't shit. Like, you've been looking around a ton this show. I see what you're doing here. And while we wait for one of our guys to pull up here in a second, I agree, Graphk. I hate that Devontae signed with that team. It can get him.
I'm looking around. What are you talking about? What you want me to bring on another special guest or something like that? What are you talking about?
I'm just I see it.
Nah, do that.
Oh, bro.
Why would I do that? Like yesterday. I think we have a new person that is going to start pulling up on my show, Skeletor from He-Man.
Dog, if you could do that one, bro, it's over, bro.
Think again, He-Man.
Touchdown!
Bruh. Yo. Holy shit. Yo, that shit scared the shit out of me because it was literally like, I don't know what else to say, bro. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Bro.
Salute to Rick, man. Yes, and I believe that he deserves another opportunity. They were smart to not let him leave Miami. Bobby Slowick did some good things down there with the Texans. I think they got rid of him too quick. You see what that offense looked like this year with CJ Stroud out there. I think he's going to work great with Hafley, calling the defense and being the head coach. I think that was a great move for them. They didn't want to lose him, and they just elevated him. I think what was he? He was the quarterback's coach or something along those lines.
Elevated him, but they should. He's a terrific play caller.
Yeah, and he's still young. He's still young as well. So he said, I'm going to call on the Hammer Show tomorrow and do that voice. That is hilarious, man.
That'd be hilarious, yo.
Let me see. I want to look around one more time real quick, you guys, and kind of update everybody else on what's going on. The Bills just interviewed Anthony Lynn for the head coaching position. So the Bills are going through a ton of names right now.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
We talked about Bobby Slowick. He was the senior passing game coordinator down there with Miami. So great news for Miami fans down there. Bobby Slowick's going to be great with that offense, depending on who the quarterback is down there. But we talked about Mike McCarthy.
I think it's going to be Quinn Ewers.
I do. Well, at least for right now, it will be. They may go. Keep an eye on Ty Simpson. Keep an eye on Ty Simpson.
I don't know if I want to keep too much. Colin Cowherd got Joker's trading 6 first-round picks to get Ty Simpson. I'm like, my God, this is the worst of the worst.
I can see him being a guy that can thrive out down there with Slowick. So keep an eye on him. And again, they don't look. They're going to try and get off that Tua contract. We talked about Zach. He's a free agent, I believe, right? He only signed a 1-year deal with them. Yeah. So man. I mean, Ewers is what they get him in the 7th round out of Texas.
Ty Simpson, that motherfucker can't throw the football worth of shit. Sick of that shit.
Yo, bro. Yo, somebody send that clip to Coach JB, bro.
I like Coach JB, bro. I wanted him to come on the show, bro.
I've talked to him a few times.
Yeah, I fuck with Coach JB, man. He just be bugging. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's crazy, bro? He would fit in with what we do. Like the way we
He'd be like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
yeah.
He'd be like, what are you talking about? That motherfucker can't. It's a bang 8, goddammit. He don't even know what a bang 8 is.
I like JB, but again, I feel like he's kind of getting lost in this whole new media world and how this thing, you know, how it goes about. I just feel like he's just a screaming or shouter. He just
Listen, I just need to scream and shout because these motherfuckers don't know no motherfucking football. That's all. Now this episode is gonna be demonetized because I'm on here cursing.
Salute to Coach JB and salute to Compton.
Jason Whitlock.
Oh my God, bro. He's the worst. And you see how he latched on with JB. It's just like crazy to me to see that.
Well, he tried to latch on with somebody else. We don't want to, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But look,
you motorboat son of a bitch.
Yeah, man. Bro, shit. Yo, that peanut butter skin.
Bro,
did
you see them have to salute to Big Bro LV? Did you see them have to delete that tweet about him talking about the defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots? He was he was originally calling the defense early on in the season. I think they let him go, or he wasn't calling the defense anymore.
I think he had like cancer or some shit like that.
It was something. Okay, there you go. I know, but he's not calling the defense anymore. And did you see that clip? It was crazy, bro. And Ryan Clark, and then we're just sitting there like just allowing him to go on.
Bro, did you remember when he was talking about Hunter Henry a few years ago?
Yes.
You remember that? He Hunter Henry and them boys over there with the Chargers, and then what wound up happening was see, that's why
that was Raider week.
Yo, Teddy Bruschi. See, I fuck with Teddy Bruschi. Teddy Bruschi was like, he's like, yeah, he got traded, Stephen A. well, you know, it's the Raiders. Oh man, bro. Listen, let me tell you something about Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. Smith is a guy that
I'm doing too much work, man. You gotta slow down, man.
His entire career. He was a terrific beat reporter for the Sixers. He understood, he had the pulse of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a guy who understands the politics of this media world. He actually studied from the King Griftomatic himself. You know, this all comes from Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is the hot take king.
Yes.
Right? All of these guys, him, Jason Shitlock, all these guys, they all started out with Skip Bayless. Yes. Marcellus Wiley.
Yes.
You know, and I got a lot of respect for that dude, Marcellus Wiley. I like that he kind of keeps some kind of semblance of realism, right? I like Marcellus Wiley.
And when people are on some bullshit, Wiley be stepping up to the plate and calling them on this shit. I respect it. Yeah, but you know, so you get all of these guys, right? And Stephen A. Smith, God bless him, he's making a shitload of money. He's doing great. But I think when you spread yourself too thin, yes.
Pause.
Big pause.
Pause. He is spread all over the place.
Pause.
I mean, spread all over the place. Filled it to the brim. He's everywhere. He is everywhere. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, bro. I mean, at every hour of the waking day, he's on the Ocho on ESPN. He's like, well, you know, down there, them girls with the girls volleyball team of Slovenia. You got them girls over there. You know, they're spiking. They're doing the bull dance. They're feeling the flow. You know, and they got to get it done. Stephen A. with the girls volleyball team of Slovenia was like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You don't watch all of this stuff. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know football. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, bro. Yeah. He's like, well, you know, the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning and them boys over there and Vaughn Miller. Right, you know, Vaughn Miller hasn't gotten it done.
Yeah, right now. Salute to Alex. I hope the interest from Clint is real for the job, because for the Raiders to throw the farm at him and he stays in Seattle would be humiliating. Well, I mean,
no, wouldn't it just be he decided to get another job and then you go and you hire the next guy on your list? Yeah. I don't understand why everything is this indictment on the Raiders being humiliating. Everybody picks jobs for different reasons. Sometimes it's not just money. These guys got kids, families that are in school, and you know, maybe he might decide, I don't want to move my family fucking out of Seattle. Maybe my wife likes living here. Maybe my kids are in high school. Like, y'all don't, like, it's not always just about the bread.
Yeah, but then it also opens up things for potentially a Davis Webb, a LaFleur, or Mike McDaniel sitting out there in LA just chilling. Like, hey, I'm still looking for a head coaching job. What's up? So, again, if Kubiak decides to not want to take that next step into being a head coach, we have several options on the table, and I think we will be okay. I don't think we're going to end up being with another Pete Carroll this year, you guys. I don't think that's the way the chips are going to fall this year. So salute to my guy Alex, man. As always, man. You got anything else for us, bro? I know tomorrow me and Hammer are going to be live. We're calling both games. Hope you guys pull up on us, hang out with us.
Yeah, I might do a post game, so we could kind of, wrap our minds around exactly where the Raiders stand in the hierarchy of all of this stuff. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
It could be quite possible if you guys, would like that. You know what I mean? That's always something that, for me, I'm always willing to talk some football, right?
Well, also, so we'll get a better idea again with Davis Webb and Mike LaFleur and Clint Kubiak potentially tomorrow on what's next. If the Seattle shits the bed tomorrow, you may get a Kubiak. Hey, he's on his way to Las Vegas. If Denver loses, hey, Davis Webb is on his way for his second.
Well, we got to get into, Kid Kubiak and all of them boys and what they going to do right there. If he's going to the Raiders, he's going to fail. Kid Kubiak, he's been working with Kanye West all season.
Kubiak.
Kid Kubiak.
He's the one that Jim Jones stole his song, right? Day and Night?
Night and day, day and night. Yeah, exactly. Now they got to get it done.
Salute to the Mokes. Hire me as head coach. I'll take us to the promised land. The Mokes, you have been screaming that Aiden O'Connell was going to have an MVP year for many moons now, and that never happened. Stay in the comments section and never leave the comment section. Salute to Alex. If that's the case, why interview in the first place? Why not, bro? First of all, you need experience. Why not take some interviews? Even if you look, you don't think that all these guys that have took interviews thought, you think that Antonio Pierce thought for one moment that he was going to get the job in Atlanta interviewing? Do you think?
Antonio Pierce and Tom Coughlin and all them boys, Antonio Pierce, he got to get it done too.
Hey, man.
He's over there coaching the Raiders. The Raiders were terrible this year.
But Alex, it's the NFL, man. You're interviewing. Think about it like this. A lot of times you're interviewing for your next job. Swear to God, bro. Like, you will take an interview with the Raiders today. The Raiders may speak to another team and people talk within circles and say, hey, this guy interviewed really, really well. We just chose to go in another direction.
Right now I'm interviewing for being president of the United States. I'm interviewing for my next job at ESPN. We're going to be covering beach volleyball, hockey. We're going to be covering the Olympics in 2028. I don't even think the Olympics is going to be in 2028. But I'm going to tell you something. They got to get it done, too. That's enough of this. Everybody's got to get it done. And LeBron, let me tell you something, LeBron. I'm not scared of you. Nobody's scared of you. If LeBron right now, pause, because I don't need anybody coming in my face.
Whoa.
I don't need anybody coming.
Whoa, what?
LeBron, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
All right, y'all.
I'm talking about Jism right now.
Salute to everybody here.
Oh my God, that's it. We're done.
I don't got nothing else on top of that. That shit. I'm talking about Chisholm right now.
In the show now.
That was the one, bro. That was the one. We're definitely getting canceled and demonetized tonight. Salute to the GOAT himself. Wasted Stephen A. Smith talent, man. The greatest voiceover in the Raiders community, man. Salute to my brother Demon King in the build as well. Always good to see my guy. Michael says, How would you describe the leadership? We don't know. There's no.
I can describe the leadership. He was in New York with Tom Coughlin, Bill Parcells. He could get it done. I like Davis Webb.
All right now, man.
Like LeBron.
Yo, last I heard, Stephen A. Smith was down there watching Davis Webb as the head coach of the New York Jets, right? The head coach.
Oh, definitely. When Davis Webb was the New York, listen, let me tell you something about Davis Webb. Wait a minute. Are we talking about Davis Webb or Richmond Webb?
Salute to Mike, though. Nobody knows outside of Denver what that leadership style is. You know what I mean? Again, so you're kind of just trying to take a leap of faith if you're bringing him in. Again, I heard that he interviewed great with several teams. I heard that Baltimore was really intrigued by him. The Raiders were intrigued by him. So again, I don't know the leadership style. I just know that he's a football guy, that he's an X's and O's guy, and that he knows how to work with quarterbacks. Look what he did with Bo Nix this season as well. So I don't know.
Boys, he did a great job with Bo Nix and all them boys. Shout out to Nick Bonito too. Shout out to Carl Mecklenburg, the albino rhino. He's going to be playing tomorrow, and that Denver's front's going to be ferocious. John Elway and them boys are coming in there to win this game.
Akeem Talib, baby.
Akeem Talib as well. He'll be there. Champ Bailey and them boys. I want to make sure
Terrell Davis with the Mile High Salute.
Ready. All of them. Mike Anderson and them boys.
Mike High Stakes Anderson.
Clinton Portis will be in the place. Little Brandon gonna be up in there. Everybody's all of them boys over there.
Oh my God,
DJ
bro.
Williams and them boys. I got love for all of them, yo. But this isn't about, I'm very, very close. I don't know if you know this or not, but Davis Webb is my oldest child's baby mother. But this isn't about little Stephen A. Webb III. This is about the Denver Broncos, and they got to get it done.
Salute to El Chito. How do y'all feel about the OC from New England? He might be a hot candidate. No, sirree, Bob. No, he's not getting any interviews. I've not heard any team be interested in him. He is right where he needs to be, calling offenses, and he's doing a really good job out there in New England. So, yeah, we can get away from the whole Josh McDaniel. Yo, Wasted is on a roll today with the voiceovers. Yo, he said, did you say kid's baby mom? Call Davis Webb a woman, man. It's wild work. It's wild work.
This isn't about little Stephen A. Smith Webb III. This isn't about that. This is about Denver Broncos got to get it done. They got to get it done.
Salute to Stephen A. for pulling up on the show today. Salute to everybody here in the building, as always. About to hit that almost hour and a half mark. Salute to everybody here, man. Once again, I know the weather is terrible out east. Wasted, stay safe, brother. Salute to everybody in New York, Jersey, up there in the northeast, man, in the south right now. I know Atlanta has been really affected by the weather too. Dallas is getting smashed right now by this snow. It's nasty work out here. You know what I mean? Pause if necessary. But yeah,
the whole state of Dallas is getting smashed right now. The whole state. They're getting it done.
But yo,
they're definitely getting it done. The whole state is getting smashed.
Other than that, yo, we do have again Broncos, New England tomorrow, Rams, Seahawks tomorrow. There's a lot on the line for our Raiders. It looks as though
is the state of Dallas getting rammed.
It's not Mike McDaniel.
It's not even a state; it's a city.
It looks like our next head coach will be coaching tomorrow. So. Other than that, man, I got nothing else to say, bro. We talked about the Brian Daboll, Daboll, however you want to say it, interview today. He did once again come here. I'm kind of like, I don't even know how to say this shit anymore. Yo, Wes, you got anything to say on the way out, bro?
Denver got to get it done. That's it.
Other than that, you guys, love and appreciate you guys so much. Stay safe tonight. Hope to see you tomorrow. as me and Hammer call the AFC and the NFC championship games. Make sure on the way out, you wipe them feet over here at OLV Raiders Network, and make sure you pay your bar tabs over at Wasted Talents channel. Also, hit that subscribe button on both channels. Other than that, love and appreciate you all. We are outro.
Touchdown!